Don't just save money. Those were the first words my grandfather said to me, and they surprised me deeply. Since childhood, we have always been taught to save money to secure a safe future. But he simply smiled and said that saving alone is not enough. The important thing is to know how to make money grow. He told me about a man who lived in a small village. People considered him lazy because he did not work. He just sat under a tree every day and dreamed. He often talked about big plans like opening a shop, raising livestock, or becoming rich. But everything remained just words, because he never took action. As time passed, his life became harder. His family struggled, and his wife had to work tirelessly to support them. One day, when his little grandson asked for food and there was nothing left in the house, he finally woke up. He realized that dreams, no matter how beautiful, cannot feed a family without action. From that moment, he learned an important lesson. Dreaming alone is not enough. To change life, one must take action and create real value. After realizing this, the man decided to do something he had never done before: take action. The next morning, he left home early to find work. He became a field laborer, working under the harsh sun on dry land. The job was exhausting. He carried heavy loads, worked long hours, and suffered from back pain and burning feet. His hands became rough and hardened. Every night he returned home exhausted, but he felt something different inside. He was truly trying. The money he earned was very little, just enough for simple meals. Sometimes it was beans, sometimes barely enough for a poor meal. Still, he tried to save every coin. He believed that if he kept saving, the future would improve. He found a glass jar, hid it under his bed, and added a few coins each week. The clinking sound gave him hope. However, reality was not as easy as he thought. Life remained difficult. Money came and went, for food, medicine, and daily expenses. Problems were still there. Even saving became hard as they wore old clothes and endured hunger. When the jar was finally full, he felt proud. But at the market, he realized something painful. Prices had risen. His savings could buy less than before. That was when he understood saving alone is not enough, because money can lose value while life never waits. After realizing this, the man began to think differently. One afternoon, he sat quietly outside and watched his neighbors. They carried eggs, milk, and products they made themselves. They looked peaceful, not worried like his family. At that moment, he understood something important. They were not just earning money, they were creating value. A small idea came to his mind. He asked his grandson, "What if we raised chickens?" This time, he did not say, "Someday." He acted immediately. He used his savings to buy a few thin chickens. It was a small start, but a big turning point. The early days were not easy. He had to learn how to care for the chickens, feed them, clean the coop, and protect them from illness. But slowly, results appeared. First one egg, then two. They ate some and sold some. The income was small but steady. He used it to buy more chickens and gradually expand. Over time, the flock grew, and so did the income. He carefully recorded every egg sold and every coin earned. Work was no longer just labor. It became a process of building a future. The house became warmer, and hunger was no longer constant. One day, holding an egg, he told his grandson, "This egg is more valuable than a jar of money. Money can run out or lose value, but if used wisely, it creates more value." From then on, he understood the greatest lesson. Don't just hold money, make it work for you. Even a small start, if done right, can change a life. As his chicken business became stable, he no longer saw money the same way. Before, he thought money should be held tightly for safety. But now he understood that money only has meaning when used properly. It is not something to store, but a tool to create value. Every day, he cared for the chickens with patience and responsibility. He woke early, fed them, cleaned the coop, and checked each one. The work was hard, but it brought joy because he could see real results. Eggs became not just food, but a stable income. He began selling to neighbors, and gradually more customers came. He did not spend all his earnings, nor did he keep them passively. Instead, he reinvested, buying more chickens, improving the coop, and learning better methods. Step by step, the business grew. His flock expanded, and his income improved. He also kept detailed records, tracking eggs, costs, and earnings. This helped him understand his work and improve efficiency. It was something he had never done before, working with planning and long-term thinking. his family changed too. No more hunger, no more constant worry. His grandson became healthier and happier. His wife felt relieved. Their simple home was now filled with hope and stability. One afternoon, he told his grandson, "Before, I only dreamed and saved money. Now I understand. Money must be put into action. When used to create value, it grows." This was not just his lesson, but one he wanted to pass on. Don't be afraid to start small, and don't let money sit still. As life improved, he looked back on his journey. He remembered dreaming without action, working without progress, and saving without results. These experiences taught him that without the right direction, life cannot change. Now he worked with a clear goal: building sustainable income. The chickens became a foundation for more opportunities. He thought long-term and always asked how to create more value. He realized that big change comes from small, consistent actions. From a few chickens, he built a growing source of income. It was not huge, but stable and improving. Most importantly, he no longer felt helpless. He shared his lesson with others. Saving is important, he said, but not enough. Money must be used wisely. Holding money is like holding water. It slips away. But if used to water plants, it brings growth and fruit. Looking at his healthy grandson, he felt proud. He understood that the greatest lesson was not how much money you earn, but how you use it. Anyone, even starting small, can change their life with the right approach. From all his experiences, he learned the most important truth. Money is not meant to be held forever, but to create opportunities. He shared his story not to boast, but to help others avoid his mistakes. He told people that saving is necessary, but storing money alone leads to loss over time. Life changes, prices rise, and money loses value if unused. The key is to turn money into something that creates lasting value. He often used his chickens as an example. From a small amount of money, he built a steady source of income. This showed him that money, when used correctly, can grow like life itself. He emphasized that you do not need a large start. What matters is action and persistence. Small steps in the right direction can lead to big change. He advised people not to wait for someday, because waiting costs time. In the end, he concluded that the greatest lesson is not how much money you have, but how wisely you use it. When money creates value, it continues to grow and bring stability. And that is his message. Don't just hold money, make it work for you, and build a better future.